welcome guys. And SmokePatch, PES SmokePatch has released version 0.6 of the 21.3 point of their patch, which covers DLC 7. This is the full compatible patch. It's all in one, and you can apply this to anything that you have. Even if you don't have a patch before, you don't have to do any incremental. So this is what they're considering the final full version of the patch for the 2021 game. So here's a few other details here. I'm going to take you to this tutorial how to install it step by step, including the download. They talk about here the installer will upgrade any pre-existing SmokePatch version. Like I said, even if you didn't have SmokePatch before, don't worry about it. Just install this and it will override anything that you have and apply it. And it's interesting here, they're showing that they expect to have an incremental patch version 4 that will apply the new season rosters and teams and everything after all the transfer, of course, and when the season starts. Then they will update this game so you're playing the current season, which is going to be 21-22. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to take you step by step, including download, installation, and checking to see if everything downloaded fine. So stick around because I'm going to check for my cider if it's working or not. Now, they claim that any Master League or Becoming Legend leagues that started with 21.3.0 or newer can continue. So we'll check for that because I have a running personal Master League and I want to verify that that's working, as well as my mini phases. So they said that you need to check all the add-ons, which I'm highlighting here, to make sure that there's nothing newer. And I didn't find that was an issue at all. Okay, so what do they include in this 0.3.6? They're compatible with the latest game version, includes all needed DLC files, so they're integrating the new stuff with their stuff. That's basically what they're doing here. And they're updating the national teams, boot packs, DLC stadium enhancements, and they even reduce the size of the stadium files that they got. Thank you for the 1.1 gigabytes and other fixes. We're going to check those out as well. Let me just close this. And here they have some additional details. And there's a couple of things that I want to highlight here. And then we're going to do the live update to my game. So I'm recording this as I'm going to install the game patch. So here, added new managers. So they're expanding the list. I believe it's going to be 65 versus the, I don't know, it's not even 10 that the game comes with. So you're going to have 65 new managers, or not new managers, but at least they're going to add to that to come up to 65. Very well. So let me show you here the list of the managers. And so it's a long list, which is pretty cool when you're doing Master League. So you got Roberto Carlos, Romario, and you got Cruyff, which was there before. Actually, this is the default managers from the game, and you see what they got, just a handful of them. But here they're adding Guardiola, which we had in the previous patch, but they added to these guys. Let me see which ones are new. Rivaldo. Who else they added? Tuchel is here. Xavi, Benitez, Luis Enrique from the Spanish national team, Maldini, Xavi Alonso, Klopp, Valverde, Ernesto Valverde, Zinedine Zidane, Ancelotti, or Ancelotti, I should say, right? So anyways, that's a pretty nice list. And I think you guys are going to enjoy picking out a manager different than just a few that they give you. So here's the installation instructions, no different than before. We're going to extract the patches, and I want to show you step by step how to do this, guys. Then we're going to run the executable to get it installed in your installation folder. And then we're going to copy the edit file in the save folder of the game. And I'm gonna show you the location of those in case you haven't done this before. All right, so let's go and find the download links right here. And let me just highlight a couple more things here. This patch is made to focus on offline modes. And remember that to play online, you can always switch it back to the original game without the patch by using the switcher. And perhaps I should have another video just to explain how the switcher works, which is pretty simple anyways. But that's what it does. It just removes the patch and it converts it back to the original game, not doing anything. It just disallows it so you can go online and then you can go offline. But remember that we have some instructions on the CIDR, so block the network so we don't incur into any conflicts. And I'm gonna show you that as well. So this patch is tested on the full original version, not on the copy game, but there are options to load this in the copy game as well, so you'll be happy about that, and I'll show you. Download links, there's only 4 of them here, and we're gonna go one by one and download them. And I should accelerate through this. So download here, I'm gonna put it in my downloads. And I'm accelerating the video to skip. This is just repetitive. Okay, so once you pull out those files, I use 7-zip, and I'm gonna just extract the first one, guys, the first one, remember that, and it will go through and extract them all automatically. So make sure that you only extract in the first one, and I accelerate it here, and here's my folder for the SmokePatch 21.3.6. Let's open it, and here you have, as I said, you got an edit file for the copy game and an edit file for the original game. So you have the option and try it out. They tested it on the original game, but you can test it on the copy game. Let me know how that goes, because I don't have the copy game. So here's an installation instruction, very brief. Again, we're gonna run the SmokePatch now that we are at this point, and then we're gonna copy the edit file and put it in the save folder. All right, so let's double click on this guy and get it running. Remember, your game should be closed, everything should be closed. So we're gonna say yes here, allowing the install to work. And I'm gonna hit next. That's good. I'm gonna hit next again, and pay attention here, please. You either can select for Steam or for copy games. I'm using the Steam game, so I'm gonna hit next here. And make sure that this directory goes to your folder. Not because it listed something there doesn't mean that it's picking it right, because it wasn't for me. So I know my game folder is in the D drive, and it will always be under Steam apps. Oh, I'm sorry, Steam library, Steam apps, common, and under common, that's where the games are for Steam. And here are all the games I have. I have a bunch of them, PES 21, and leave it there. Just highlight that eFootball PES 2021, just leave it there, and that is the game folder. So I'm gonna hit OK here, and you see there that it's got the right path, and now we're ready to go. Very small file. So I'm gonna let it run and accelerate through a little bit. You won't even notice, it just goes quickly. So if it takes longer for you, don't worry, I accelerated through a little bit, okay? So it will pop the SmokePatch website, you can close it away, and now it tells you to copy the edit file. So I'm gonna copy the edit file for the original game. And just that, just the edit file, you're gonna just copy it, and let's go to where my save folder is, which is under Documents. Okay, and find the Komani folder. This is a different location, guys. And then find your game under Komani, and the folder with the long numbers, There it is. There's a save folder, open it, and here's where we copy or paste that game. Replace, and we should be ready to go. But before we do that, I want to make sure that nothing get impacted on the cider. There are two ways to load add-ons on the cider, and while I'm getting to my game folder, I try to explain this. You can load CPK files in the download folder of the patch, or you can go through the Lua within the cider inside the content folder. So in this case, I'm checking the configuration file for the cider, and I'm trying to see if all my instructions are intact, because the patch should not be touching this section. This section is under the cider. So anything without a semicolon, like the net block here, without the semicolon in front of the line, is active. So I'm blocking network, as you see here. You know, I don't want that semicolon in front. So everything seems to be in shape. I got the other add-ons that I put before with the Luas for the servers, scoreboard, stadiums, etc. It looks in shape. So I don't need to save it again because it's correct. Now I fired up the game and it's bringing this dark edition of the menu, which it was an add-on that I had, a mod, through the cider. Now this comes up. So we are blocking properly the network. And I want to check if my master league is working, one that I already started. So let's say continue. And let's see if it brings it. It's loading and it's there. I'm playing Queens Park Rangers on the English League. And what I notice here is two of my youth players, one of them, which was my avatar, don't have mini faces. Now, I know the mini faces that I loaded for these guys can only be loaded through a mini faces CPK in the download folder of the game. And I'm sorry to be so confusing. It's not in the cider. So I'll show you. So it did override the file that was there. So that is one correction. If you have any mods that were loaded in the game folder download folder, like the CPKs, which usually have to generate the DP list generator, you know, use that. So here I'm going to show you. I'm going to open a DP file list generator, and when you use this, I'm going a little bit fast here, we're going to pick the right path. I want to go all the way to the game folder. So let me find the D drive for me. Steam library. I'm repeating so you remember that. Steam apps common. The game, and inside that, inside the game folder, there's a download, not inside the cider, here. When you pick that, it retrieves the DP file list bin. And you see here that if I look at the bottom, there is no mini faces there. So the new patch erased the mini faces CPK I had. So I'm going to click here, and now it should show at the bottom on the right to be added, so it can be pulled in and used by the game. So it is right there at the bottom. So now it should work. Now I want to make sure that I have the right DLC. Now, I haven't found anyone with a valid program that has the 7.0 DLC listed. So I try this one, which is counter to what some people say, and it's true, but I did try it here for 6.0 updated and generated the list, because I haven't seen anybody come up with one, and there was a couple of links on YouTube and the links didn't work, so I wasn't sure that was for real. So anyways, I fired up the game and it's working. So this particular version, and I'll have it attached in the description box, is working for DLC 7. So here are my two pictures of myself as an avatar, but I still need to update the name that was override by the patch. So I can go back and check that. but I got my 2 mini faces loaded back, so everything seems to be working. The only thing I had in that download folder was for CPK's mods, it was the mini faces. So you have other stuff that you put in through CPKs in that folder. Remember to check them out. You may have to redo your DP file list and they will come back up. Okay. And I'm showing you here, if I start a new master league, just to show you that we have all these new faces and all the managers. That's pretty cool. We got a bump. Look at the club. Although I don't know, some of the faces they're not as good, but you know, thank you guys for generating this for the community. Anyways, you know, I know people spend a lot of time trying to do this right, and it's a lot of work. So not everything's gonna be perfect. So kudos to the creators to make it at least available. So you see that we got, let me see, 65 managers. That's great. You got a lot of them. Look at Ancelotti, who is now the new Real Madrid. He doesn't look like him at all, but anyways. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys, and good playing to you guys, and until the next one.